Hey, how you doing, YouTubies? Huh? Can't hear you. Alright, well, this is what we're working on today. My brother's C10 seat. As if you noticed, we started this project last week, and my brother doesn't even know that I'm doing this seat. Well, he might know that I'm doing this seat, but he doesn't know how I'm gonna do this seat. And I'm just gonna pretty much make a seat cover out of this. You know, the seat's already been redone once or twice. It's ripping apart. You see this? This came from under here, and that's different than here. So that says it was redone. There's a couple features I'd like to keep about this seat, which is this. And obviously we got the seat belts we're gonna have to put holes in. But I'm not an expert with sewing, but I got somebody that knows a little bit about sewing, a little bit more than I do, and that is my girlfriend. She's gonna help me sew this seat cover. Say hi.
Hi.
So, real quick, I'm gonna have to tear down these little plastic things, unscrew these, put them in my little catcher jar, and I'll show you essentially what I want the seat to look like. Oh, I also forgot to mention, we're in the patio that I've been working on over the last couple months and put a few videos out. So if you haven't checked those out, go ahead and check them out. See how this patio turned out so brown and bright. So go ahead, those are good videos. Hey, did I mention my girlfriend's name? That's Julia, by the way, all right? So she's gonna be my helper. We're gonna lay this out so you guys get the essential vibe of what we're gonna be going for. Something like this, all right? You know, something. Just like that almost, because I want to keep these pockets here. So we'll run some straps where these meet, and then run across the bottom so that this doesn't always pull up, if you're catching my vibe. And then we'll also do one blanket on the bottom, one blanket on the back. That way it's cleaner, and this can fold easier, and the top gets covered, and the sides get covered. You know what I mean. So this is essentially what the seat's gonna look like, but two-piece. We're gonna have to cut in our holes for our, what are they called? Seat belts, the safety things, you know. Now I chose this method because it's kind of cheap. Seat covers are ungodly expensive, okay? So I figured, let me just buy a couple blankets on the Amazoner, and then I'll sew me up one. And then I realized the sewing machine we had, we didn't know how to use. I don't know. So we ended up going to the Wally World and getting us one of these simple, easy to use machines. And that's what we're gonna use to sew up these corners and such. You see, like, we don't want this just to sit willy-nilly. So we'll probably fold the sides in, roll that over the top, and then we'll sew those seams, if you're catching my drift. You know what I mean? Something like that. All right, well, I'm gonna quit babbling to you guys, and we're gonna start getting this bad boy set up to sewed up, all that stuff, okay? So just sit tight for me. Here's a little closer up of what I'm trying to achieve here. We got the one seam that we'll have right here, and then we'll put a little ring and we'll bungee cord it to hold it tight. And then we'll also put a little straps here. Since these are already buttoned here, it's a perfect spot to give us a little strap. Put a little ring and bungee cord it. We'll do that here, 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 and here. And we'll get it all to stick to the bottom. That way it could come off at some point. And then, I like the look. We still gotta deal with the seat holes. But those are just a slice or a mark it, sew it, and then a slice it type deal. Our next thing here is we gotta deal with these little brackets right here. So I'm gonna pull this down right here, give her a little slice and dice, and we'll sew around it to give her a nice little hook job. And then same with this one right there. We'll just give that one a little slice and dice right there and go around her. We'll cut off all the excess on the back. The excess on the back will be able to give us enough to do our little strips on the front. So, you know, the stuff you cut off can be used for material later. I'm really digging how it looks, just had to tell you. So right here, on the side of the seat here, obviously the seat leans forward. So we got this little bolt that it hinges on. And we want our cover to wrap around because obviously the sides is a little fugly. So I drew this line here, I don't know if you can see it. I sharpied a little blue line all the way down so we can do a little stitch all the way around this bad boy and then slice and dice her and the blanket won't come apart, you know. That's our plan. I don't know if it'll work. First timer over here, I never made a car seat cover. I never even used a sewing machine in my life, but there's a first time for everything. No need to be afraid. So we'll do some sewing here in a second. Maybe we'll start looking at the back first. I'm not sure. It's a new day for us. We tried to give her a little stitch in here. I don't know if you can see the little line. It's kind of hard to see. But we attempted to sew this little corner together. And we ran into all sorts of problems with our string. So I got a little frustrated and I decided to just call it a day. And here we are today. So let me catch you up. We did try sewing this little thing on so it'll flip over, make it easy. I also did start working on the back a little bit, pinning it up to get our lines right. So far so good, minus the little attitude problem we had yesterday. But I went ahead and I adjusted that with a warm snack, and I'm back today with better attitude. So the plan is to finish what we started yesterday. Now, partially the reason we gave up yesterday is because when we were sewing this stuff together, the blanket came apart a little bit and went into the machine and got tangled into our string. So what we're gonna do is use the little stabilizer stuff. We just went ahead and went to Walmart and got this stuff right off the shelf. So we cut us out a little chunk of it. The length we need goes on the underside, sew it together, and hopefully it works better. Come on, you're headed right toward that middle. Man, Julia been sewing away. She got these cool seams in the front for me. She got me a couple slits in the side here so we could get around and actually, well, check that out. Functional seat with seat cover. It's coming out just great, man. I'm pretty impressed for being beginner sewer. And you know, we're just playing around here, so for making a little seat cover, it's coming together way better than I did. We probably spent quite a bit more time on this seat cover than it's worth, but you know, it's for my little brother, and if he doesn't like it in the end, it's a seat cover. We could take it off, and it's not got all these clips that are a pain to get off. It's just a couple cords and stuff like that, and it's right out of his way. And if he don't like it, I can use it. I'll be able to use it elsewhere. So it's not a total loss in my opinion. I'm really enjoying the outcome so far. We do got a couple straps I'd like to put in here to hold her down and be able to tighten her so this don't come up as you sit on it. You know, you just rub your hand on it, it starts lifting. And that'll bug me. So couple little straps to wrap around the bottom and hold her tight. And we also got to cut the back off here because we got a whole lot of excess, and that's where our straps are going to come from. I did forget the seatbelt holes, but you know, we're going to get those just in a second. We'll get the seatbelt holes. We're going to sew them first, and then we'll slice and dice them so it'll fit the little seat belt holster and or thing. You know what I'm talking about. Go through the hole. So we determined our length that we want on the back, and well, we laid it on the ground just like so here, and I ran this red tape because I got a lot of tape, and I used that as a straight edge. It doesn't look exactly straight because we already sewed it together. As you can see, you see the two black lines, one there, one there. Now we're gonna cut right in the middle of those, and those should make sure that the blanket don't, you know, fray is the word I'm looking for. So now that we got it sewn together and back on the ground, we're gonna put our little cutting mat underneath it and just slice and dice her right in half here. More like 3/4, 1/4, but you know what I mean. So now that we got, I don't even know if you can see me, but now that we got our line cut where we're gonna go, we went ahead and folded that edge over to double up that layer, and I got these cool little rings. You know, they're like the rings you would find in one of them blue tarps, you know? So we're just gonna place these every so often. I don't know if that's right, if the right distance or whatever. But then we'll do a little button sew around that, put these things through, and we'll use bungee cords to hold it tight. Yeah, simple. Seat cover that's removable, pretty easy. Ran out of time yesterday, so I didn't get to do a little ender for the day, but today we're back on the seat. We got our little lip folded over, it's sewn together, so we have to figure out how to get our little rings in there and space them out good enough, gooder-ish, you know. We gotta get our straps on the front here. Yep. And we gotta get our little seat belts in here. We gotta do a little sew around there and then slice and dice that. And then we can finally get onto the back of the seat here. So far, I'm really impressed with the results. It's looking way better than I thought it ever would have. And I'm kind of digging these little danglies on the side here. Man, Mama got the hang of that dang sewing over the last couple days, and she just knocked this stuff right out. We got our seat holes, or our seat belt holes right here. These are the legs on the back of the seat there, you know, that bolt to the floorboard of the truck. You know, that way it doesn't bunch up and rip the blanket off super fast. We got the side bracket holes here. You know, it's looking pretty good. I'm digging it. But here's the overall shape that we're dealing with. Kind of looks like a mask for some really, really big-headed guy. I don't know. But that's what we're dealing with. I'm gonna slap her back up on here for like the 100th millionth time and test fit her again and see if I need to make any other changes. And then I'm gonna designate where I want my straps on the front so I can hold it tight, and you know, we're getting there. The bottom is almost done, is where I'm headed, okay? All right, I had Mom's help to get this on. Oh, and I keep calling her Mama. That's Julia, because she's mama to my son, Emmett, which he's at school right now, so that's why you don't get to see him. But anyways, she's helped me. We got this thing laid back out. Our little seat holes, our seat belt holes look perfect. It fits really good. So now we had to settle with our straps. So I'm gonna put a strap from here around so I can keep it tight and it doesn't sleek up like I said earlier. So I want the design to continue down in each little section. So I laid out this little piece here, which if you remember, I cut this off the back when we selected our length for the back bottom side. So this is our X-tree, and we're gonna make our straps out of our X-tree. So what I did is I laid it on top of the seat, and I marked out my lines here, and that's where I'm gonna do a little sew line right in the right on the inside of the blue line on all 5 of these sections. And then we'll slice and dice it, and we'll have our straps, and then I'll fold our straps in thirds, and then we'll sew it again, and then we'll put our rings and sew it on the fabulous seat cover Mom's been helping me work on. So that's our plan, that's our goal. If we're successful or not, I'm not guaranteeing anything. Alright, so you just watched Mama Julia sew this up, and she did it, what is that, inside out?
Yeah.
And she just did the seam, you know? So now we're kind of having trouble. Her trick was doing a little safety pin here and trying to get it to roll under and feed through, but it's just a little too much. So what I'm going to do here is just go back to my electrician skills, and I'm just going to use a little bit of tape. I'm going to tape off this top end down here, just like so. And now I'm going to try and roll her inside out this way. Maybe, maybe not. I'm slowly working. That's fine. Look at that. Bam. Pull the tape off, and we got a perfect little sleeve for our strap. Perfect. So now we got 4 more to do, so that means rinse and repeat, baby. You see how she's got the entire strap just folded right in half, man? That's what you're looking for. And then you just sew the seam, just like this. And once you got you a piece that's sewed right in half, you can go ahead and stick it on whatever you can to get it through that's solid enough to pull, you know, that I showed you. And in my case, it's my tripod for my camera, all right? So Mikey's approved. So we made our straps the other day. That's right, I said the other day. It's actually been a couple days because we were working on the seat and we got a call about some horrible news. So we had a little family emergency we had to take care of, and we had to take the next day off to take some grieving time. But we're on it today. We got our straps made, and Julia made these nice little button sews for our straps so that we can have these nice little rings in here. Poke through the backside there and give something for our bungee to attach to keep the thing tight. So here's what the finished one looks like. Pretty good. This is halfway done, and this is the start. But I'll show you how to put these little rings on real quick. All right, have you came down to my level? A little lower. All right, come a little closer. All right, I think you're good. I don't know. But essentially, this is the little diagram that you want to be looking at. You can see the layers, okay? I don't need you to throw that away now. So now you made a mess over here. What you do is you get your little bottom on there. Okay? And then you put your thing through your strap. And then you face that one down, alright? And then you get the other end. See how these two are different. One's got the hookies, one's just got the tube. So now you got the one with the hookies on the top. Alright? Just give her a little squishing. And then you get the top side. And I don't even know what to call this piece, but alright. Then you get your bang bang. Bang bang. Me bang bang long time. Long time. And you be careful now, cause you'd end up like me and have a band-aid. I already smashed my finger once today. Here's proof. Band-aid. Stuck on Band-Aid brand, cause Band-Aid stuck on me.
I am stuck on Band-Aid brand, cause Band-Aid stuck on me. I am stuck on Band-Aid brand, cause Band-Aid stuck on me. What's that whole lot?
You remember that commercial? Alright. Back to the point. Now you just smash this thing till you're happy. You know, and I like to give her a good one at the end. Bang bang. Me bang bang long time. Long time. And that's how pretty she turns out. So now that we got our cool little tarp rings or whatever, hook rings, now we can get our 5 little straps here sewn on to where we want them. You know, here and here and here and so forth, you know. It's been a little bit of time now and Mom was sewing away. She got all 5 straps sewed on the front, refined our corners and attached these to the straps. Man, she did a whole lot of sewing today and I really love how these straps came out. Love it. Looks great to me. I had to put the back on, you know, get a little better view of what it's gonna look like, and our designs almost line up perfect. And I could get those to fit right once we get final adjustments. You know, it's just up there for show for now on the back side. So I like the bottom, how the bottom's turning out. Now the only thing to do left is put these little eyelets here on the back so I can have something to attach my bungee to and keep it tight. So I'm almost there, but I'm happy. I just gotta say real quick, Julia, if you're watching, thanks a lot for the help. You big help, you know. I really didn't want to learn how to sew personally, but I will if I have to, and just watching you, and I've learned enough that thanks for the help, okay? It's a new day for us again, man. We were working away. It ended up getting too dark to be able to do a little video for you guys last night, but we got the bottom on, and boy, does she look decent!
Oh, decent!
Look at these seams Mom did. Man, they're decent.
Oh, decent!
I don't know what else to say. All right? So we started working on the back side there this morning and got a little carried away. So we got our little top corners on each side sewn in, and we cut her the length to where we want her to be. And then the next piece is we got to cut her little squares out of these corners. I don't know if you can see my blue line here, but this corner needs to get cut out for this little bracket here. All right, so that's our next mission real quick, is just to give her some way so this seat will still function. All right. Oh, while I'm at it, I'll show you how the bottom turned out. I'm making a seat cover so we can take it off, okay? So we're using these bungee cords, these little guys that you never know what to use them for anyway. So that was my choice, as I went ahead with those little guys. And, you know, they're the mini bungee cord set. And I also went ahead and got them canopy ties. I figured, why not? Okay, got them from the Wally Mart. That's why they're the Hyper Tough, because who cares if they last forever. But anyway, I went ahead and used the canopy ties on the back side. And I had to go and shorten them up now. I'll snip these off later, but shorten them up, doubled these ones around. She's got a little loosability. She's not too tight. This thing still functions, so I think we're in the clear so far. I'm not entirely sure. She fits real nice. And one of the best things, I think, is the little frivolies. You can't go wrong with the side design, okay? I'm digging it. That's all I gotta say. So I'm gonna quit talking to you guys, and help Mom sew and cut and fit and seat cover stuff. Check this out. Mama had that dang sewing machine a-singing. Maybe that's why they call it a singer. Because when it cruises, it really gets a singing. But anyway, we got them sewed up. Mom did the double line stitch right here to give her some extra strengthening. On both sides, we went ahead and cut it out. But we're running pretty shy on time. It's about time to go pick up little dude, so we're gonna run and do that real quick, and we'll be right back to be able to put our little rings in the bottom and the back side. And just laying on the ground here, that thing just looks like the back of that seat, like it'll just fit right on there. So I'm gonna run pick up little dude, and then we'll do our test fitment when we get back. Hot diggity dog, guys, check out this car seat cover. It is coming together just great. The bottom just looks great with the top, and we're almost done. We test fitted her real quick. We figured out where we want to put the rest of our little eyelets to hold it tight for our bungees. And then I also got some buttons over here. Hold on. So I got some buttons, these ones, you know, just the ones that like snap together. And I want to put those right here, you know, just 1, 2 to keep this little tight. You know, so it's not all flapping in the wind. We don't want that. So that's our last few little things, and then we're almost done with this seat cover after 6, 7 days. And that's okay. It's another day for me again, guys. Yeah, that's right. It got pretty dark when we finished up last night, but I did say finished. So today it's just to show y'all. Check it out. It looks good. The straps look flawless. Our seams are good. The back looks good. We got our buttons in. Check them out. We got our eyelets on the back and some bungee cords. So man, this seat looks good. It even functions without messing it up. The design's lined up pretty almost great, you know, and you can adjust them to make them perfect if you need, but for right now, it's beautiful. The seat has made a change in its looks. That's about it. Yep. We didn't do anything other than looks on this seat. But that was the goal. A cheap, quick, do-it-yourself or seat cover, even though it really wasn't quick, but if you guys are a professional sewer or more proficient of a sewer than we are, then it may take less time. Because you can see, we definitely weren't the professionals, but we tried and tried until we got it right, all right? We did it over and over and over. I really enjoyed working on it, especially working on it with my girlfriend, getting her on the YouTube channel, because that don't happen often. It was fun hanging out with her last week. Even though we only worked on it a couple hours a day, it was just fun to do something with her for once. That wasn't, you know, going out to a restaurant or, you know, to doing stuff, to the zoo or something. It was nice to actually sit at home and do something that wasn't watching a damn TV screen, okay? But anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this seat cover change around, give me a like on the video. Go ahead and give me a comment, please. And subscribe to the channel because we're working on this square body and this is part of it. There'll be more parts to that truck. We're going to be painting it. We got window tint and we got all sorts of goodies going on that truck. So please give me a subscribe to continue watching. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to stay motivated.